I'm John.
I'm Ryan.
And we're Team Plug and Play, and we're working on the Plugs for Molly project that we all saw on the first day that we actually had project pitches in class. So this is Molly Hale, and before we talk about our product more, we want to introduce you to her and to the problem statement a little bit more. So this is actually Molly's 6th time working with this class, so we definitely feel the pressure a little bit. But she, basically learning about her more through her documentary and through meeting her many times in person, we found out that she's an independent person who really enjoys living an active lifestyle. She enjoys horseback riding outdoors or hanging out in the pool down in San Jose and doing therapy there. Now, she actually has her hands compromised from quadriplegia from an accident that happened many years ago. But over these many years, she's worked really hard and regained a lot of functionality. But one thing that she mentioned that's still difficult is maneuvering plugs and plugging things into and out of computers, into wall outlets. And so her statement to us was, how can we save her time working with plugs? Because over the last 20 years, she's spent about 1,500 hours or 2 months of time trying to plug and unplug items.
So when we first started looking into the magnitude of the issue, we quickly realized that there are countless people all across the world that can benefit from a similar solution, such as people with quadriplegia, arthritis, joint pain, really any loss of grip. That being said, we decided to focus on Molly, mainly because she could help us iterate more efficiently and more directly. And we assumed that if our design was flexible and good enough, we'd be able to create a solution for really many types of situations. And so we first looked at the existing solutions, and there's many problems with pretty much every single one we could find. Some are only available in certain regions, others require a complete rewiring of the plug, some only help with pushing, not pulling, and then there are very lofty design concepts that no one has ever actually produced.
So I'd like to talk a little bit about our design criteria for the project. Obviously, functionality was our #1 priority for Molly. We wanted to make something that was cost-effective, sleek, that she could fit into her pocket, fit into her purse, something that's not going to be cumbersome for her to work with, but that she could really easily, plug her iPhone cable into her iPhone, or charge her wheelchair, or plug a coffee maker into a wall, something like that. Comfort wasn't as important for us because you're plugging something in, you're leaving it there for 30 minutes, and you're plugging it out. It's not a big deal. Ease of attachment of like a small device that we're planning on making onto the plug is also not that important. She has a lot of people who work with her that help her every day. They could spend an hour, fitting her house to be workable for her. And then the coolness factor, we're talking about plugs here. It's not that cool, so it wasn't that important to us. Another thing that we're still considering is if we're trying to make one device that's universal for all plugs, or specific devices for different types of plugs. So you have one for your lightning cable for your phone, one for your coffee maker, and one for your computer, things like that. So this is our basic prototyping. It was really rudimentary, but it was really fun for us to get our ideas out on the table, Molly to be able to see them, to give us some feedback quickly, and really it was just kind of a bonding experience for all of us. We got to get to know Molly a little bit, and it was a fun one.
So the first prototype of our universal solution that ideally could fit on any plug you could find is a simple flat piece of plastic that has holes that you can zip tie through to a plug. And it has holes that will help you in pulling the plug out, and then a stock that rests against your palm, so it's easy to push in no matter what your fingers string. And then after speaking with Molly, we realized that the first design wasn't great and that we needed a wider lip shape, the holes need to be put in a certain way, and it worked pretty well. We still need to get the material and thickness down to make sure it can handle really any loads that it requires, but so far it's going okay.
This was our first specific prototype. It fits on a lightning cable for an iPhone, and it has 2 holes for your fingers to go in. But after talking with Molly, this really wasn't exactly what she wanted. She wasn't enthusiastic about putting her fingers through the holes. She said that was a little difficult for her. So she suggested doing a half a lip shape, like we have on the bottom left. We 3D printed it. It turns out it's a little bit too small for her. It works well for me, but I'm not Molly, so we're going to make that a little bit bigger, but we learned some really important stuff. The tolerances on it were a little bit small, so we need to make those bigger. But it fits nicely. It was incredibly inexpensive, well under $1. It was pretty easy to make, so we can make a bunch of them, and it was a good way to prototype something.
And so looking at where we are now with our current prototypes, there are still some steps we want to take over the next 4 weeks before class ends. First, we want to take these prototypes that we have and continue to iterate on them. Like Ryan said, some of our designs are too small. Like John said, some of them are too thin. And so we want to keep practicing with the laser cutting and 3D printing because it's so cheap that we actually do have a large enough budget to cover lots of iterations and lots of time to work with Molly to find the best option. We also want to practice different attachment mechanisms. So like Ryan said, the way we have it initially right now is a little bit small. But we're asking ourselves, do we want something that's permanent and glued onto a plug, or do we want to experiment with things that are more semi-permanent? So maybe something with a rubber attachment that can wrap around a plug but can be taken off later if we decide we don't want it anymore. And lastly, once we actually have the functionality and the attachment down and it's all working well, we want to see if we can actually scale this product. Is this something that, since we saw what's currently on the market isn't working well, is it something that we actually could take to market? And since we have found that so far it is really cheap, is it something that we could keep really low cost and actually scale manufacturing? Thank you all.